Coffee time. We need it today.
Hello, peoples.
Do you have your phone to? We do have pretty mugs. Do you have your phone to?
I do. I will monitor the chat in the phone.
Thank you. I should probably turn this up all the way.
Dude.
Yeah, if you're here, drop it in the chat.
Holla, holla.
Or holla holla, as Jody likes to say. I always think of challah bread.
I had a couple like Jewish friends in high school who used to like to take like words in Hebrew or you know, etc. and do stuff like that with them. Holla being one of them.
Sorry, I'm joking. It's fine.
They also tried to form. So there is a symbol of a Jewish symbol of like life. It looks like pi, but it's called a high, and they wanted to form a Jewish boy band and call it High Five. So there we have it.
And they didn't do this?
They may have.
Okay.
These are actually friends of my brother's, not friends of mine.
Hi, Maria.
Hi, Maria.
Gotcha. I was gonna say if they didn't do that, that's a missed opportunity.
It really is. My brother's friends are more creative than mine.
I don't know whether to be offended by that or not.
Well, present company not included.
Fair enough. It's gloomy here today.
It is.
I've been Duran, what's up?
Hey,
here.
Duran.
Yeah, I've been working on a paper all day, amongst other things that we've been juggling. So
I loaded up our utility trailer to take to the recycling center.
I just realized what shirt you're wearing.
This is the shirt that I'm wearing. There's a story behind this.
There really is. It involves me trolling him very hard.
Very hard.
We can tell that later though.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, I had to load up our utility trailers to go to the recycling center. And part of that is because for all of the 4x2s that we've been building, right? We put together 12 of them.
Mm-hmm.
There is all of the packaging material that is associated thereof, and it was just too much to put in my car. That, and we recently had to buy a new riding mower because ours we bought used and it kicked the bucket. So we had to buy a new one, and the bagger came in an enormous box, again, too big to fit in my car. But it's just a funny feeling to me when you have like, hey, Carrie,
Carrie.
You have that much just packaging that you have to load up a trailer to go to the recycling center. It's what happens when you do the things.
Yeah. And Toad Ranch packs their stuff really, really well.
Yeah.
Hold on, I am messaging Liz because she's, I think, stuck in. She's watching. So hi, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
I think she's stuck in.
She's stuck in Patreon land.
Yeah.
Okay. Speak of the devil. I will also say, we are repping our Throw and Thorn custom mugs. So for those of you who are not on our Patreon, if you join up once we hit 50 people, we are going to do a raffle. We have another set of these mugs, and that is going to be the prize.
It's always backwards from what I think, but yeah, they're really pretty.
Yeah. I had Drew specifically put the logo on this side so that when we, the right-handed people, are holding the handle, it shows off the logo.
Well, that's because you're also weird and you use the handle. I don't do this. This is weird.
You don't use the handle?
I do. Yeah, I do this. Which one's the right way? Because I feel like this is just.
I mean, this is French press. French press gets super hot, so.
And you have asbesto fingers, so.
A little warm.
No, asbestos mouth. He can eat really hot stuff that burns my tongue, and he's just like. I'm like, how?
Yeah, I don't know. My sensitivity to temperature is overshadowed by how hungry I am.
Apparently. Okay, that makes more sense, actually.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to look at babies. I also want to see if I can get Stella out. I need to clean out a little bit. She pottied in her enclosure, so I need to clean out stuff anyway.
So good timing.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to try and get Stella out, maybe get her little mini me out and do side by side for that. So
fun fact about this clutch. So Garrett came over this past week to help us sex all the babies. And unless we missed something, all of the platinum anery motleys, and we have 4 of them. All of them are female. It was like they were all like, we are going to be the Stella lookalikes through and through.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all little mini Stellas,
Yeah.
every single one.
She's partially out. Do you want to hold down the masses and I can see if I can get her out?
Sure.
Her out. I changed her water and my stuff. Oh, let me grab. That's for me here. I'm gonna take this off. Raw. She hasn't been super social since she has been done with MI, but she's slowly putting on weight, so she's getting more and more, like she's been at her high more and more.
She has been a teensy bit hungry, which is good.
You have a piece of cork bark on your face. You have to come out. You want to come out and say hello to your fan base?
Well, I don't have food. Look at her. She's like, do you have cheeseburger?
I don't have a cheeseburger for you. Do you want to come out? Hi.
She's all periscopy over there.
She is. Hi. Do you want to come out?
You're so cute. Big girl wants to come out.
Hi. Sniff that.
Hi. Good girl. So you're gonna try and go back into your good girl. And she's like, you don't have a cheeseburger.
I know. I'm sorry, babe.
So while Abby's doing that, I will tell the story of this shirt. We were out dancing with some friends. We used to be big in the swing dance scene, and we were at the DJ booth, and somebody was looking at a meme on their phone, and it was a cartoon that said how unicorns came to be, and it was a narwhal like at like in the water, like at the kind of at the shore, looking out of the water at a horse, and the thought bubble just said, "I think I'm in love." And I said, well, that doesn't make sense because narwhals aren't real. And so Abby and the friends that we were with all just were like, hold up. What? And, you know, most people just kind of skate by with that particular gap in knowledge. But no, I had to say it out loud. And now I literally get Christmas cards from Abby's sister, or like hand drawings from our niece, from her daughter, just of pictures of narwhals now. Like she's gotten the whole family into trolling me about narwhals.
Yeah. All right, so this is Stella. Obviously, you all know who she is. She's still a little underweight. You can see how skinny she looks, but she's definitely gaining weight. We may actually weigh her while we have her out today too.
She's looking a little saucy in the butt.
She always does. That's okay. These are old leggings. If she pees on me, I don't really care. She will usually go to the bathroom when she's out because she's moving around. But yeah, she's a really good example of a 12-foot long super dwarf because she's generally a little thinner bodied than a 12-foot mainland would be.
Not quite this thin.
Not quite this thin. Is that your tummy gurgling?
Want me to get her mini-me?
Why don't we grab my phone and just bring her into the nursery?
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to, here. We're going to mute that really quick so it's not feedbacking on us when I join on this guy.
Where do I do that?
Oh, it's on bottom left.
Mute. Stage.
All right, round 2. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, no?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Cool. All
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Cool. All right, Kara, I'm going to give you my phone.
Alrighty.
Stella, can you come into the nursery with us?
And we're off.
She's like, I already, oh, she's very sausage, but she's like, I already spent enough
Told you.
time with those babies. You look like a balloon animal.
I feel like there is like a Far Side comic where someone ties a snake up as a balloon animal.
Oh, there's absolutely stuff like that. Hi. Well, maybe we'll go get your daughter. Do you want to take everyone in with you while you go get
Sure.
Stella Jr.?
Let's go get Stella Jr. So for those of you who haven't seen the nursery, here we are. Currently, we've got babies in these two stacks. The top ones are not bioactive, and part of the reason for that is that if we need to like remove a divider for any reason, like we have Picasso in there right now, having them without all of the substrate makes that easier. And so, nope, nobody there. Oh, you're up there. Hello. Yep. Are you awake? Hi, little one. I don't want to startle you. We're going to just slide you over here so I can get behind you. Hi. And here is Stella Jr. Hang on, let me, can I close? Oh, nope. Can't do that one-handed, hang on. Don't want her roommate to get out. All right.
You got her?
Floating snake. Yeah, yeah. I just needed to put the phone down to be able to close the tank. Only have so many hands. It would be convenient to be an octopus.
It would be. Come here. Come here, little one. So, very tiny Stella, because she's still much smaller than she usually is. Like, obviously not shorter, but. And then Stella Jr.
You're like the size of one of her dorsal stripes. Not even.
Isn't that crazy? So funny. But even their like head stamps are very, very similar. Stella goes under. Oh, come here. Come here. What are you doing? Oh, good job. You got spider web on your schnoz, as you like to do. Hi, can I take that off? Thank you. But like, look at the head stamps. Like, look at them. They're so similar. It's crazy. Hi. Stella's like, you again. What are you doing here? But yeah, mama and baby. Look how similar, like even the reduced pattern along the neck
Yeah.
is the same.
Kind of like the little pixely side rosettes. Very similar.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to see what else. It's like the pattern is so similar. Your little twinsies. So cool. Yeah. Did you clone yourself? I don't believe she's a Partho baby. If she's the healthiest Partho baby I've ever seen. But I don't think she is. Yeah. So many conflicts. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hi, you're very cute.
Yes, you are. Hello. That's my nose.
Oops.
What'd she do?
That. I'm looking at her hide.
Oh, she does this every time. Hi, sweetie. You want to climb up? Oh. I love how little forks get stuck.
Everyone is joking that you should put on a biohazard suit before Stella unleashes what she has locked and loaded at present.
We'll put her back in a minute, but we just wanted to show you all that similarity. I should take video, but actually let me do that really quick. I'm gonna steal my phone really quick and grab a little bit of video because everyone on Instagram has been asking about it too.
Do you want to do it on my phone?
Sure. Yeah,
That way.
that actually works.
Burp.
Cool. Yeah. What do you think?
We're getting giggles about the size difference. Now I need to go over here to see the chat. Trying to read the chat and film you at the same time.
All right. You can just share that with me later.
Sure.
You two, you're twins. All right, Stella, would you like to go back to your house? Well, let me hand you her. I'm gonna clean Stella's house really quick and get her some fresh water
Yeah,
while I have her out because
Come here, little one.
you got her?
Boop, boop, boop.
She's so cute.
And
Oh, did you already? Yeah, she just broke again. Do you have any questions from anybody, or are you able to tell because of?
no questions at the moment.
Hello, iSpots.
I'm just gonna show off this gorgeous little one.
Oh, get up.
Right. Where are you going, honey bun?
Sorting through reticulates to make sure I don't throw away any bugs. What's your favorite thing about her?
My favorite thing about her?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think my favorite thing about this clutch in general is how outgoing they are.
Mm-hmm.
We have just got some very, very social little babies, and it has been very fun interacting with them.
Yeah, and we are doing like observational data with them because I'm curious if the reason that they're so social and like not most of them are not defensive even a little bit is because of like just multiple generations of captive bred and they're just one additional generation because mom and dad are so chill or if it's because of having a bigger space to explore, like having their little neonate bios. There's a lot of variables, it's gonna be hard to differentiate until we get additional information. But yeah, I'm just curious to see how that plays out.
Carrie has a question, which is, how do you keep isopods from escaping your enclosure?
For the most part, as long as your parameters are good and they don't have a reason to want to leave, they stay. If you have, I mean, I rarely see any isopods escaping. Like once in a while, I'll see one like dead on the floor or something, but it's pretty rare, and usually it's because I like dropped one. Like they like to hide underneath this water bowl. There we go.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed the same, even upstairs. So it's trickier upstairs because I've got isopods in a leopard gecko tank, right? So a more arid enclosure. So it's a little bit more challenging to keep the parameters good for both them and the gecko. So but yeah, same thing. As long as I'm giving moisture seems to be the biggest thing. As long as they've got a nice damp substrate to hang out in, then they seem to be happy to take root there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Carrie's saying she thinks the RHP is working too well and there isn't enough of a temperature gradient.
What was that?
Carrie says she thinks that her RHP is actually kind of working too well and there's subsequently not enough of a temperature gradient.
Oh, gotcha. That happens sometimes. Like when we were, what is her? thermostat at right now. I haven't changed it since we pulled her off. It's either 81 or 83.
84 looks like.
84, yeah. And her hot spot gets up to 90 sometimes, 89, 90 at the hot spot. So I think it's pretty common to start high with RHPs and then have to turn that temperature down.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And Raquel asks, do you, with time, need to buy and add more isopods, or will they reproduce and keep on going?
In Stella's, I've never had to restock. They exploded. I do need to feed them once in a while in a snake tank. That's the kind of key, is the moisture and making sure that they're getting fed. So the humidity level is what allows them to stay hydrated. Otherwise, they can decimate. And then desiccate. And then food-wise, depending on how often your animal poops, if it's been over a week, I'll usually sprinkle a little bit of isopod food of some kind in there for them, so to make sure that they eat.
Now, as far as restocking goes, sometimes we do need to do that, but we typically don't need to buy more because we also keep cultures of them outside of the tanks. Isopods, if you keep them in nice moist substrate and you keep them fed, they reproduce really, really well. So something that we've always done, and we've done this with 3 or 4 or 5 different strains of isopods at this point. We we
have zebras, we have giant canyons.
We've got Oreo crumbles. We've got dairy cows. Upstairs, I have powder orange and powder blues. I used to have Florida Fasts, that colony molded out, and I haven't replaced them. But essentially, anything that we've stocked in the tanks, we also keep a separate culture, and that way, if we do need to restock, we've got them right here. So it's like we keep an ant farm essentially up here, only it's isopods.
So we do have Heiser. Are you excited because you can get food, or are you excited?
I don't know if we told everyone that Aries'
Oh my gosh.
glass has been replaced.
Good for you. I know.
He is now back home.
Hello, bud. Hi.
That's generally about as food moody as he gets.
Hi. Yes.
And Raquel is asking, what is the optimal strand of isopods for tropical temperature enclosures?
Depends on what you want them for. If you have a lot of protein that you want the animals to take care of, isopods to take care of, then you want something like dairy cows because they're protein heavy. If you're looking more at like decaying matter type of cleanup, like a residual mold that springtails might take away or whatever, then something like Oreo crumbles is great. But you can keep them. We have both Oreo crumbles and dairy cows in both Stella and Aries. Hello, sir. Hello. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And they do fine together.
Yeah.
So
powder blues and powder oranges also like protein heavy. One of the things about dairy cows is that they are really voracious eaters, so we typically don't put dairy cows in with smaller animals. So none of our neonates have dairy cows. Even Iris, who's our Brazilian rainbow boa, she does not have dairy cows. She only has Oreo crumbles.
Cobbs has dairy cows. He always has, but he's arboreal, so he generally stays off the ground.
Stays off the ground.
Generally, the isopods, regardless of how protein cravey they are, they'll leave like a healthy animal alone. So the only issue that you'll have is if something is like decaying. So.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Are you going to stay out of trouble if I leave your door open?
Aries is getting some shout outs. Carrie says, yeah, he's back in his house. Maria says he must be so happy. And yes, he indeed is. He was not terribly pleased with his hotel room.
He was not. We did find we do have an Aries mini-me.
We do.
You can see if he's awake. He gets his mini-me gets very offended if I wake him up, so we can go see if he's awake. I can show you all this little mini-me because it's very cute, very silly. I don't know where he is. He's on the floor. Do you let your snow friend have dibs?
Yes, isopods do also love to eat snakeskin, as Maria pointed out.
Underneath what? Well, you're original. I'll give you that much.
Did we tell you all that one of the baby tanks has a full-on lock and key? Because Aries learned when he was in there how to pick these wire locks.
Stella Jr. was trying. Are you spicy? No, I'm disturbing your beauty rest. He can be very spicy. All right, so those are little mini Aries. He's probably the smallest one in the clutch.
One in the clutch, yeah.
Oh, he's being good. He's very easy to work
this
with.
is super fun. They look really fun next to each other.
She grab your phone and get some recording. You want to put Mini Stella away?
Yeah. Here, can you hold that?
Yep. Is there a way to? Currently have an Aries and a mini Aries. They're so cute. This little dude's awesome. He's very active. He's very interactive. He gets like grumpy sometimes, but other than that, he's super awesome. And like I would be grumpy too if I had like some big ugly goober person coming in and being like, "Come here, I want to hold you." He's probably like, "Why?" Sorry, where are you going? Hi, that's my face. Oh, you're lemming in my ear, dude. I have that switched around.
Okay. I'm going to try and film with two things simultaneously.
Do it. Oh, that's cute. He's like, "Excuse me, sir. Are you gonna bite your dad?" Because that would be very like you. He's also very sensitive to the camera, like the infrared. You too. Yeah, look how cute. You need some close-ups.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gonna look pretty much exactly like Dad. And Dad's climbing down. Are you done with me?
So cute. All right, I got some good video.
Cool.
Get back to the chat.
The chat. Yeah, all the rest of the anery. So he's just a regular old anery, visual anery, wild type pattern.
Maria's asking, can we go back and show them in front of the laptop?
Yeah.
I think we may not have quite the same resolution
Probably not.
via phone. All right, off we go.
Laptop. Oh, we can. Do you mind just getting the light?
Okay. Do you want me to just exit out of your phone?
Well, we're gonna show them more babies, but yeah, you can if you want to just use the laptop anyway. So that is fine. All right, and we're back. So, I'm not gonna have it quite as good of an angle, but this little dude, who is our tiniest little friend, there you go. Now you're waking up. I woke him up. He's our little Aries mini-me. He has the exact same head stamp as Aries. You all aren't gonna be able to see because he's so tiny. Like exact same head stamp, very similar pattern. Pretty much he's a little Aries twin. Yeah. Which one were you talking about, Brian? Were you talking about I think you were talking about this little dude. Yeah, I love like the aneries. He's a like army green anery. When he's fired up, he gets a little bit more silvery. But he's gonna be that same kind of army green. It's looking like so. But he's awesome. He's super fun. He gets cranky sometimes, but he's honestly gotten like so much chiller since he got out of his egg skin.
Yeah.
Is he one of the ones who also has the subway token pattern on his back?
He does not have any subway tokens. He has some like Taurus horns on his pattern. Yeah, Aries has like if you watch Garrett's stuff, Aries has like one of the Krispy Kreme donuts on him. He passed that down to just like a single one that's not like Krispy Kreme patterning by any means. Just a single donut. But
He's now on top of me, but also holding onto the stool.
yeah,
There
he
we
likes
go.
to do that.
Come here, dude.
Got a Sunfire anery? Nice. Yeah, Sunfire aneries are really pretty. Just kind of brightens everything up, the Sunfire, I feel like. Where you going, dude? Yeah, you're cute.
But
Look at you.
something else I want to show is my favorite bit of patterning on Aries is you can see kind of like right here.
It's this guy right here.
There. Yep, we've got.
He's
he
like,
has-
excuse me.
doesn't like to sit still, but he's got that little. It looks like an old school subway token.
Mhm.
Like it's my favorite pattern on him to the point where I'm going to get it tattooed on me.
He has like a whole totem pole.
I want to make a
Plan
totem
of-
pole of snake patterns from one from each of our
Yeah.
But anywho, so we have a couple of our babies have that little Aries subway token, and I love it.
Mhm. Yeah. All right. What else do y'all want to see? We have lots of different. You saw Platinum Anery Motley. He's a little visual anery. We have a couple of really dark aneries. We have a couple of really dark anery Motleys without the platinum. That have like thick black. We can just show you. Do you want to grab my laptop?
Bring that up.
Yeah.
Can we just put Aries back? I don't think I can do both at once.
Or you can just set him down and let him crawl around.
Okay.
But if you're more comfortable putting him back, since we have fragile ceramic stuff, that's fine.
That is a good one. Yeah.
Aries is a notable home wrecker. Not the kind that is typically associated with that term. He just likes to knock things off and break them.
He's
He's
a home goods record.
a home goods record. He's a home bulldozer. He's usually pretty good, but we have the nice ceramic mugs and stuff. Hello, friend. Hello. What you doing? Do you see my hair? Hello. Hello. All of the babies seem very, very obsessed with noses and glasses. So if you have a nose or you have a pair of glasses or both, chances are you can get a baby retic to be curious about
Roll
you.
on one or both of them. All right.
Not yet, Maria. We have our wait list, which is we have wait list numbers for about half the clutch because we're keeping one holdback. Garrett has a holdback that he decided to choose out of the clutch. And then Etoile is our prolapse baby, so we're going to hang on to her for a little bit longer. But everybody else is, so about half.
Yeah.
We have a wait list for about half.
Now, they are not officially spoken for yet
Mhm.
because we're waiting until they have at least had a couple.
Meals.
That was mine.
Oh, that was yours. I can't remember which color you had. Sorry.
That have at least have a couple meals in them. Before we say, okay, this one is yours, and then we're going to move kind of down the waiting
Mhm.
list that way.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that they're actually like taking food for,
Right.
2 or 3 meals before we start letting people choose their baby, because we don't want someone to like fall in love with the baby and then be like, oh, sorry, it's not doing well. So you have to pick something else. And then all of a sudden they're, if you were
Yeah.
first or second in line, now you're like, 11th or 12th or what have you. So we want to make sure we're staying equitable for the, whole purpose of a wait list is to, let people
Yep.
take their rightful turn. So,
Cool. So one of the things that I think would be fun to look at is the difference between some of the platinum aneries and the anery motleys.
Mhm.
Because they're both gorgeous, but completely different from each other.
all right, let's do it. Now that you have 2 extra pair of hands.
Yes.
No, not extra. You just have a pair of hands. That isn't really doing.
And where'd it go?
Dun 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 dun.
Ah.
Ta-da.
Splendid. How many females and how many snow females and how many snow males? We have 5 total snows.
Yep. 3 are females, 2 are males.
3 female, 2 male.
Yeah, the prettiest one. I was so bummed because the most gorgeous, like platinum motley snow that we have is female. I'm like, oh dang it, I wanted that one. But yeah, we can show you some. So you want to do? Hey, buddy, you want back? Oops, sorry, I rearranged your house. And I can arrange it back for you.
Yeah, I was thinking do and
Okay, we can do this real quick.
are we doing checking in line 12?
Hi, sweetie. If you want to Hi, sweetheart. So this is E12. I got these little plastic thingies from Michael's to do little sphagnets because some of them, like she's on paper still. She'll be on paper for a wee bit because we just want to keep an eye on her prolapse. It's been fine for the last, like, she's going on like 2 weeks of being fine. So, but yeah, this is the difference between, she is platinum anery and he is just anery.
Straight anery.
Yeah. So it's really interesting to see the difference. Like a kid in a candy store. Same, which is one of the reasons I'm behind in homework right now. But like, it's really cool to see the difference between the two. Come here, buddy. He's like, no. But yeah, anery, platinum anery. It's so hard to tell. You too. Oh my goodness. But she's like a purpley, silvery, and he's more of that green. Hi, buddy. He's like, why? I don't want to share my hand with anybody else. It's my hand.
I'm going to tilt this down just a little bit so we don't get glare off of the glass.
Oh, that's
hopefully
a good idea.
y'all can see them a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't know if that translates at all. I also forget which way is which because we're mirrored. But yeah, the platinum aneries in this clutch are really, really cool looking.
Here, do you want her to-go container of spag?
To-go container. They love those little spag containers that like they'll curl up in them.
Spag to go.
Oh, girl. I know. So I woke you up from your very nice nap. Go back.
All right. And then, so she is a platinum anery, right? And then these two in here, first of all, are hilarious. They are like
Like you told Chloe back at my hand, and I just put her back.
the two in here are the funniest roommates. Like they are constantly, we can barely, if they're both awake, it's hard to open up the tank and get only one of them out because they are both just totally hanging out.
They're all very active, yeah. I'll do an Instagram live at night sometime, and you all can see how ravey they get.
Can I pick you up? Are you awake? Raquel says your interview on the retail fund was amazing.
Oh, thank you, Raquel. I had fun. It was a good time. Which one are you trying to get? These two don't fight. I usually don't use hooks with these guys. The little Aries Junior dude can get a little cranky, so I'll use a hook with him just to make sure that he's awake. But yeah, for the most part, you can reach into any of their enclosures and just snag them out.
So this is now one of the anery motleys, and this boy is a little bit fired down at the moment. When he's fired up, he gets even more silvery and kind of this kind of gunmetal gray, which is super gorgeous. But it's so interesting to me too that motley is not a color morph; it's a pattern morph. But the difference in this clutch between the colors on the motleys versus the colors of like the just the aneries or the anery platinums, it's almost like it just highlights the like the sections of the pattern that are that kind of super pretty silvery gunmetal gray. And it also makes kind of their dorsal pattern like bold.
Yeah, he's got like, it looks like somebody took a Sharpie and outlined each one of his little motley circles. It's really cool looking. Yeah, it could be. We haven't gotten them on food yet, Raquel. So we're going to keep a really close eye on them with that and see how it goes. But yeah, as of right now, a good portion of them still like curl up on top of each other. And yeah, hello. Do you want my face? I am not surprised.
Yeah. So we, I think what we're planning on doing, and we had some supply chain issues for the thermostat for this stack. So this one, the BIOS in that stack don't yet have heat.
Yeah.
And so obviously we don't have any babies in there. But I think the plan is once we get that thermostat, which should be next week, we'll hook that one up, and then we can kind of move all of the babies into BIOS unless they have a reason to need to stay in a little bit of a more
so like
E12
will stay on paper for a little bit. Just to make sure that she's all good. We'll get her on a couple meals. Then if she looks good to go, then we'll put her in a bio and see how she does, because we don't want her to be, missing out on enrichment opportunities. Hello. All right. Let's see what else we got.
He's one of my favorites. He is so friendly.
He's very friendly.
Welcome back.
I guess we have not done any of the snows yet.
We have not.
So
I was gonna pull out Starburst.
Starburst first.
And my favorite girl.
So
Starburst is one of my favorite girls. But where
um,
did the lock go for this one? Oh, I guess I'm getting excited.
so little bit of a surprise is we have now had two different people look at these snows and say, these don't look like purples. These look like lavenders. So we believe that this little girl, who Raquel has nicknamed Starburst, is actually, she's not a platinum, but she is a lavender snow, not a purple snow.
We don't know 100% for sure because both Stella and Aries were supposedly het purple. And we don't know, sweetheart, don't know which one could be what. We would need to do additional pairings to prove out one or the other, or prove out that they are indeed purple. So Starburst, this is so not going to translate in this lighting, but Starburst is a wild type pattern, and she's just a straight up snow. This girl that looks white on the camera, she's a motley. She has almost like one clean stripe down her back, and
One
she's
big motley, yeah.
and she's very, very bright. She looks almost bone white. She's not in person. She's more of a peachy, like super light peachy, or like almost like the flesh of a pear kind of color. It's hard. I don't know what to.
So that girl is a platinum motley snow, whereas Starburst we think is a lavender snow.
Lavender snow. Yeah, they're both very sweet, both very chill.
Yeah,
they're gonna look amazing as adults.
Yeah,
they're
just gonna. You know, we think that they're like the kind of reticulated piece of their patterning is the thing that will kind of darken up with their sheds.
Underneath your water balloon.
And it already has, actually. Like when they first came out of the egg, they were even lighter. And so they're starting to kind of, darken up with that first shed. But what's interesting is that, if you're
not even darken up, just like brighten. So anything contrasty will look more contrasty. But yeah.
But if you've ever tried to tell the difference between a purple albino and a lavender albino, sometimes they can be really, really tricky, right? Like you have dark lavenders, you have light purples that, you could kind of confuse the two. So if like one of Stella's parents, for example, was a lavender, visual lavender rather than a visual purple, which is what they thought, then that could explain why maybe Stella is het white and not het purple, which kind of makes sense. Like if you think about like the way Stella's coloring, or like when she's fired up, she's like bone white.
Yeah, but we don't know if that's just like the platinum anery combo and the het purple just really doesn't play a factor, or if it's because she's potentially het white. So we're going to list them as lavender, but be transparent with people and be like, we think they're lavender. Whenever we confirm that one or the other of the parents is het white or het purple, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
So you know what you're getting. So they're going to be listed. Any of the non-snow babies are going to be pos het albino. Because we don't know if it's going to be white or purple.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
66%. Close to 67% because the reptile industry doesn't know how to round. But so they say 66%. It's 2/3 chance being pos het albino for all of the non-snows.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does. There's a really fun variety. Do you like a snow baby?
Sure. How did I want?
You want to take Starburst?
I'm going to try. They are
very interconnected.
They're not.
I was going to grab Starburst's neighbor. That male to show them the platinum anery.
Her roommate? Alrighty. Would you like me to take one or put one back, or
do you want to just get him out?
Oh, just get him out. Sure.
Since these two you all are noodle entwined. Yeah.
Oh, he is one of the prettiest platinum
Mhm.
Aries too.
He's almost my favorite one. I have one additional one that I like a little better. Stella Jr. Stella Jr. is at her class.
Hi, buddy. Oh my gosh.
I already petted him when I was in there.
Oh,
The other snow, he's fine.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I was giving him a little
He's so
gentle
chill.
workout.
Like, yeah. So this is the Peachy Boy.
So this is one of, good lordy, got to be one of the prettiest snakes in this clutch. He is just gorgeous.
Yeah, he's a good boy. We
Very
use
friendly.
hooks when it feels like they need to, or if they're just like way back on the top enclosure and I can't reach them and I need like an extension of my arm, I'll grab a hook. But we're not intentionally tap training them. We are happy to if somebody is wanting to get a baby and wants them tap trained, or at least the start of tap training prior to heading off to their new home. But now I've just been working with them how I work with all of my other retics, which is, if I see them up and about and exploring, I open up their door and let them figure it out. They're tiny at this point, so I'll literally just stick my hand in there and be like, here you go. This is a human hand. This isn't food. We'll see how that continues to go as we get them on food. But my hope is to get them at least to the start of being able to differentiate, not food warm thing in your house versus food warm thing in your house, because all the other retics seem to be pretty good about being able to differentiate.
Yep.
Yeah, they are all very, very pretty. I look like I have on the prettiest bracelet right now. Pretty and very expensive.
Yeah. And the other reason that we'll, sometimes use the hook is
You're very sweet.
so like earlier I was trying to get Stella Jr. off her shelf, but she was way back tucked kind of into the corner. Typically we try and approach them from behind. It's a little less startily threatening. So I was just using the hook to kind of
He uses the hook. I'll just reach behind and
wake her up and nudge her.
But again, it's just whatever you're comfortable with. I've worked with a lot more retic babies than he has, so I kind of have my system down for how I like to work with them and interact with them. And if I get tagged by this size baby, it's whatever. It's like, okay. They're still sharp, but do I have any dream breeding? I mean, this was one. Like Stella and Aries was amazing. We have more breeding approaches versus morphs that we're not necessarily looking to create anything new or chase anything new. We have really high quality animals that we're working with really fun morphs, but for the most part, the whole focus of our any pairings that we do are on quality of care for the pairings themselves, for mom and dad, trying to get consistent with maternal incubation for all of the females, and just exceptional care for the babies, like the larger enclosures, the tons of enrichment, lots of interaction.
And something that we also really try to do is breed for personality and kind of tractability, in addition to just breeding for morph. Honestly, similar to the way that you breed dogs, right? So
and again, we don't know how doable that is, how the results actually are with parents and attitude and stuff. Is temperament passed down from parents to babies, or is it more how are the babies being interacted with as wee little spaghettis?
If personality is even a little bit genetic, then I'm personally really looking forward to pairing Aries and Centauri, because those are two just wonderful, outgoing, but chill animals. I think they will have a really, really fun clutch.
Now we are planning on, we're going to hold back we have a platinum snow male and a platinum anery male. We haven't decided which one we're going to hold back, or we're just going to hold back both and decide in a little bit. But we are going to, one of the reasons we want to hold back a male one is they're just really, we made platinum Motley Snows in our first clutch that we ever paired. This whole clutch, there was a lot of really amazing success stories with this clutch, and it's just really special. So we want to definitely keep one baby out of this clutch. But the other,
for sentimental reasons.
But also it works well with, we'll pair him He should be right around breeding age when Chihaya, our orange glow head anery girl, is ready to go. So that pairing could potentially produce, what did Garrett call it? The fruit something?
A fruit basket.
A fruit basket, yeah. So it's essentially a platinum orange glow. And she would make really, really beautiful platinum orange glows because she's already so bright yellow. So it would just like add to that, I think, in a really amazing, beautiful way.
And possibly platinum snow glows as well.
Yeah, potentially platinum snow glows as well. So yeah. Brian asked an interesting question. Do you believe that snakes have a baby imprinting, so to speak, depending on how you teach them? It's really hard to tell because I don't think there's been any like empirical research done. I feel like working with this clutch, like right out of the nest, essentially wasn't right out of the egg because they came out of the egg and usually chilled with Stella for a couple of days. But for the most part, I found initial interaction has been very chill with these babies because of, I think it was a kind of a factor of they got to experience kind of what they would have experienced in the wild. So when they left the nest of Stella's, they had her huge bioactive. So you would catch them in like different areas. So it wasn't like they hatched out into a little like enclosed box and didn't feel like they could get away. So I think that had something to do with it. And it gave me additional options in how to approach them for their first ever human experience. And I think that definitely helped. Only a couple of the babies actually struck when I would reach in to get them because, you know, terrifying to have a giant come and, you know, pluck you from the wild, essentially, for all intents and purposes. But yeah, for the most part, they were all very, very, like this, like Starburst lady, she's never struck. Actually, this girl hasn't either.
Nor has the platinum anery.
Yeah, there's a lot of the babies that have never even struck. So I'm hoping they get on food okay. Are you all going to remember how to eat, what eating is? So that'll be another interesting, oh, you two next to each other. Cool. Where's your phone? Get video of these two. Their heads are right next to each other. You can really see which one is which. That's cool. You look so irritated. Where are you going, Starburst?
We'll post this video later on to see. It's a little bit of a more close up of these two snakes that we were showing you earlier. With
She's gonna come visit you.
Probably a little bit. Hello, lady. How are you?
He did a pickup line on her like he was strong bad. We're showing our age right now. That's so creepy. Getting kicked off YouTube for being creepy.
It's weird, guy.
But yeah, the difference between, oh, my arm's getting tired from holding it up as a perch. It's a really cool contrast. Like once you see the platinum snow next to a normal snow, it's really like, oh, okay, that's what the platinum does to the snow. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But it's a huge gambit of babies. Where's one of the little?
What are we looking for?
One of the darker anery mollies. No.
Bottom left is an anery motley female. There's an anery motley.
There you are. Oh, that's
That's
another
just-
anery, yeah.
There's an anery motley in the one on the left. A male.
Look at you. Oh, my.
So
Bottom left. That was my next coaching.
a male in middle left and a female bottom left.
Oh, you guys are all about piling
Yes.
but you're all above you guys. See where you are. They like to hide together. This little crew. Hi. Oh, they're so cozy. Actually, do you want to just bring the laptop over and I can show them? They're so cozy. These two like hang out together. But like it's just really fun. Like this kind of gives you the rainbowy idea of the variety.
Can you see? Am I pointed right?
Yes. Yeah, but you can kind of see there's a platinum anery motley and then a platinum motley or anery motley. But these two are very sweet. And then obviously the platinum motley snow. So we got like a huge variety of different colors and all of that stuff. So it's pretty cool. Thank you.
All right.
So Raquel was saying, I think the environment helps a lot on temperament.
Mm-hmm.
Her NIC baby, I don't know what that means.
Nicaraguan, I believe is what she's mean. Told by the breeder, be careful. He was very spicy. He was, yeah. Yeah, I think, like, even with Stella, like, she's super, super sweet. She hasn't come out hot yet since I moved her to her big toad ranch.
Uh-huh.
She used to come out hot once in a while when she was in her smaller enclosure, one of the 8x2x2s, but she would also, like, glass surf and, like, hit the plexiglass with her nose, like, consistently, and just was, like, pacey, and, like, she doesn't do that anymore. She has a lot more height, so she's in a 12-foot by 4-foot by 30-inch toad ranch, and now I feel like the height helps them a lot.
If for no other reason than like thermal regulating, right? Like she has so much of a higher temperature gradient now.
Yeah.
Like she's got RHPs on the far corners of her tank. She's got shells on one of those sides, but not on the other. So like if she wants really hot, she can go up on the shelf.
Yeah, she can get it like 89, 90 if she
gesturing
wants.
with a snake because I'm Italian. But on the other side, she can go right underneath the RHP, but she would be on the floor, kind of underneath the shade of a ficus. Right? Like, and then the coolest spot is kind of right in the middle in between the two. So I think there's a lot to be said for putting them in a setup where they have options.
Yeah,
sure.
and like hopefully like we're looking at expanding space to give that kind of ample space that Stella has to like all of the animals, because it does, you're right, Raquel, like it does seem to make a big difference. And that's why I'm like, I don't know how much like breeding for temperament is a thing or if it's more like nurture, because I think all snakes are, they have their different personalities obviously, but I think for the most part they're all very tractable. Even the wild snakes, like I've come across black rat snakes that are just like super chill. If you don't bother them, like I fangirl over them. I don't try and catch them. I just tell them how beautiful they are. Like literally, I look like a crazy person in the park. Especially since most people are like, what is she looking at? I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because you will probably freak out. But they'll like literally just periscope and like look at me. They probably also think I'm slightly crazy. And then just like go on their merry way. It's pretty cool. Eric, what's up? Let's see. What is our watering misting schedule for your boas enclosure? Oh, thank you. Did you ask that question on one of my videos? If you did and I didn't answer it, I apologize. You were climbing at my face. I have coffee breath. I can't smell good. So we change their waters out every other day. Sometimes every 3 days. Yesterday was a rough day, so I didn't change water. So everybody's getting changed today. But yeah, in the wintertime, I'll mist maybe once a week. And then like watering the plants is another good way to keep that humidity up. In the summertime, very often I'll go, like I haven't misted tweez or ivies enclosures in over a month at this point. So just because they haven't needed it, because they're retaining moisture. It gets really humid here in the summertime though. So
actually, our only boa who is not on bioactive is La, because her tank is a little bit too short to do full bio in. But we also keep a good amount of stuff that retains humidity in her tank. So she's got potted plants in there, I think, right?
Here's one potted plant.
One potted plant.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Abby also puts, we're testing my memory now. Abby also puts like spag inside her hide, which are particularly good for, like when she's in shed and whatnot. By the way, sometimes when you all ask questions and I jump in to answer, it's because I know that Abby knows the answer. And sometimes when I actually know the thing, I get excited because she is the expert.
I'll usually toss him the this is the pairing. What are the morph combos? And I'll look at him and I've just been around the lingo a little bit more like in depth than he has, but he's good at it.
I'm getting there.
So
Toad Ranch are the best at holding humidity. PVC in general.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really
Toad
good.
Ranch does a good job. I like that they have the vent option covers now. So they added on a thing where if you need to hold in humidity, you can cover a vent or two to help boost the humidity level. You can take them off. We have fans installed on at least one vent in every enclosure, but if we needed to have humidity, we can, close up the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's actually PVC enclosures that hold humidity even better. You can, like the one that Law is in, one of the reasons that we don't have our bioactive is because it literally holds humidity too well, and it doesn't have any vents. It just the PVC thickness is thick, like super thick. So
we got that tank from a friend who built it when it was easier and less expensive to get PVC sheeting. So he was using 3/4 inch PVC rather than 1/2 inch, which is great for like insulation purposes and stuff like that. I think we put some of those louvered vents in Laws, didn't we?
We did, yes. So we
because-
installed some vents because it didn't have any.
Yeah, and it was literally holding humidity too much, and we
Yeah.
needed to help get some air.
Yeah,
flow.
and it still would if I were to put her on substrate, which is why she's on paper. But again, she's growing like a weed. She's back in shed again. She's in shed, it feels like every other week. But what I would love to do is eventually get something built where we can have her and Twee together for kind of long term, unless she's gravid, and then we can just close off a section of the enclosure to keep Twee away from her. But yeah, we do want to play around with some cohabbing options for the animals. It's generally not done with snakes. I think it's generally not done because space is limited, which I absolutely understand. So we're kind of gonna see what we can do as far as creating some very large spaces to facilitate safe, responsible cohabbing. They do it in zoos, and they do it just fine. They do it successfully. There's no issue with the animals. So yeah, just kind of playing around with that. We are in Pennsylvania, Brian.
Your boas are also shedding. Oh, wait, sorry, we skipped a question. Do we just miss the plants, or do we also water the soil?
I do both because there's plants planted into the soil. So I have a habit of overwatering, like most people that are really horrible at plants. So I've kind of backed off of that, especially that we've had a moth problem, a moth infestation. So kind of not watering as often has been helping mitigate that. And the enclosures have still been staying nice and humid. So yeah, but I will do both once in a while. I generally don't do both at the same time though. So I water plants maybe once a month in Twee's enclosure and Stella's enclosure, and they're
doing so well.
They're doing too well. I need to move some of Twee's plants out because they're outgrowing his enclosure. No, I think that's an age thing, Raquel. So
I was gonna say.
in terms of shedding sequence, like retics and like most pythons will generally shed a little bit more often than slower metabolism animals like boas. So Twee is 3 years old. He sheds probably once every 3 or 4 months. So he does not shed as often. His growth has kind of gone down a lot. His growth rate has slowed a lot, which is good because he's already a very big male. And then to contrast that, Stella is an 8-year-old retic, and she sheds every 4 to 6 weeks. Once in a while, she'll shed every 8 weeks if she's on like a month-long food fast or whatever. But yeah, even when she was on her eggs and off of food completely, she still had 2 sheds across 3 months. So
yeah, and then La had just hit a growth spurt recently, and it's felt like she's been like in shed and then eating and then back in shed again.
Both Iris, who is our Brazilian rainbow boa, and La, who's our boa imperator, are like pretty much every other feeding they're in shed, and that's just because they're both at that age. La is 2 years old, and Iris just hit 1, so they're just in that growth spurt age, which is good. We want La to grow. We're hoping to pair her with Twee when she's 5 or 6 years old, so we have a few years out still. But yeah, she's a happy girl. She's growing like crazy. I'm gonna be very nervous if she ever winds up being gravid, because boas are a whole thing, and you really don't know what's going on until you either have babies or something goes horribly wrong. So but yeah, that's kind of the plan with the boas.
But she's also now big enough to take to like outreach events, which is super fun because she's so gorgeous and also
Very
just the
friendly.
sweetest, friendliest thing.
Yeah, except for she's in chat all the time, so that makes it a little challenging. There's more questions.
Yep. So Carrie was asking, do you think you'll use the cuttings to propagate? Already on it. We've got
One of the rubber tree cuttings that I got from Stella's enclosure because it was hitting the roof and bending is being propagated.
Yeah, a ruby ficus too, right?
No, it's just a
No,
rubber
they're both rubber trees.
Oh no, there is a ruby ficus. It's just not from Stella's enclosure.
Oh, okay.
I don't think.
I don't remember where we got that one from. So there was
we have so many. I'm forgetting which ones came from my feet.
There's actually one ruby ficus that I just recently, we were propagating it like by our kitchen sink, and I just recently had to repot it into to something. So it's doing really well. And then we just clipped a cutting from Stella's tank of a rubber tree, a Ficus elastica, that is currently trying to propagate up on our front porch. So we'll see how that does.
Yeah,
But
it got a little cold and we didn't bring it in. So we'll have to see.
We'll see how it does.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Eric. That's one of the whole reasons we like doing
Yeah, thanks for stopping
to answer
by.
questions. You're still trying to climb on my mouth. That's weird. Do we think you'll use the cuttings to propagate? Yes. You already answered that.
Yeah.
As far as Tweez enclosures go, I might just need to move his Monstera out completely because it's just growing like crazy. I'm hoping at some point to have a much larger, space to facilitate a lot more height for the boas. So hopefully they'll put it back in for him. He does love that plant. He just curls up by the roots and it does really well. Like he's got all the snakes have excellent green thumbs. It's ironic.
Hate to ask this, no reason to hate, ask away. Could please answer this question. How do you get a morph proven?
The parents' genetics. That's the easiest way. I know that like the ball python world, I believe, is working on genetic testing for morphs, especially for hets, which is great.
Yeah, I think you send in an old shed, right?
Yeah.
And they do DNA testing on it.
Yep. Yeah, but there's certain visual indicators that will tell you like this is absolutely a motley. This is, we know that these are snows because Aries is a visual anery, Stella is a visual anery. So we knew the entire clutch was going to be visual anery. We didn't know if Stella was het albino or not. Aries was sold us as a het albino. So we're like, all right, well, let's prove him out. And the only way that you can make snows is with combining that albino gene, either a purple or a white, with that anery. So yeah, it's just kind of a basic knowledge of morphs in general and then how those morphs visually look when you're combining them. There are some difficult ones to tell. Like you see some cows listed as like Poss Sunfire because it's like it's impossible to visually tell. And we don't have genetic testing to get that done yet. So really good transparent breeders will not include a morph gene unless we absolutely know that it's there. So there's a couple of the snows because they're so light. We're like, I don't know if this is motley or not. So we're essentially going to leave the motley price tag off, but sell it as like Poss motley. So like you can prove them out and see, like maybe you'll get a free gene in there. But yeah, rather, we don't want to sell genetics that we are not certain exist in the animal because that's not fair.
And then, so Brian, the other thing that we do is we look at the essentially the probability of certain outcomes depending on a pairing. So with Stella and Aries, if they were both het albino, then 25% of the clutch would be visual albino, or in their case, visual snow, because they're all anery. And then the other, 3/4 would be Poss het. So that means that out of a clutch of 23 babies, we would expect 25% of them, so about 4 or 5 of them, to be visual albinos. And if we got none, then we would say, okay, well then the likelihood of getting 0 instead of 5, right, is pretty slim. So we would say, all right, then chances are that proves that Stella is not het albino. But because we got snows, then we know for sure she's proven out albino.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. If you had a clutch of like 2, that would be a little bit harder to prove out. If you had 2 snakes and none of them were visual, it's like, okay, well, we still don't know. But yeah, Eric is saying, I find that with more heavy-bodied snakes, taking inspiration from the monitor enclosures are practical because of their size and weight while still making it look natural. Yeah, that's a really good observation. I actually joined one of the few Facebook groups that I'm a part of because Facebook groups get real mean real fast. Is giant enclosures for giant husbandry or something like that, but it's a bunch of like monitor keepers and retic keepers like that keep their animals on big, very, like you were saying, artistic enclosures. But yeah, like inspiration can be found in very unusual spots, and also just taking inspiration from Stella Jr. That's why I put those there. Taking inspiration from like nature where they come from too is super fun. So Bosa, hey, what's up?
What's up, Bosa?
Hey. So if you notice on these enclosures, you see this white, like not white, but like this beige strip.
Beige.
That's one of the what is it called?
It's
back here. This is a good trick, by the way. It's the Scotch floor protector tape, essentially. So it's only adhesive on one side and it's fuzzy and cushiony on the other side. So if you either have, like the sliding glass doors always have a tiny little gap in between where the glass meets, right, and overlaps. So that tends to be an opportune pushing spot, or if you have a teeny, tiny baby, an escape route. So one of my solutions for that is to use this tape, stick it sticks really, really well, even like I have it on April O'Neil's enclosure, and she loves to push. She's 8.5 feet long. She's never budged it. So it creates a cushion for their nose, so it helps mitigate their damaging their face when they push. Retics just like to push. Like Stella Jr. is pushing right now. She has plenty of space. She has plenty of airflow. Her temps are on point. Her humidity is on point. Retics just like to push sometimes. Aries will push when he's out of his enclosure. He will push at the bathroom door. Like, I'm like, dude, why? Retics just like to push. So rather than trying to, like, I do everything that I know to do to help them not feel like they want to push. This one, she looks like part of the tape. But this is my go-to hack for if I see someone pushing or if I need to create a little bit of a security measure so nobody escapes in between those glass doors. I'll put a layer or 2 of this along the inside glass panel on the very edge, and it does the trick. So yeah, highly recommend that hack. I can't remember how we came up with that.
I don't remember either. I think we were just in the hardware store one day looking for something.
Yeah.
Because so we were looking in like the weather stripping department, but in weather stripping you can get them in like foam or silicone or rubber, right? And those are not ideal because like the foam is a little bit not sturdy enough.
That's a good idea, Carrie. You could try it for the isopods.
Yeah. And the rubber would actually make it hard to potentially open and close the doors. This is felt, so we went to like basically we get like the furniture slides like that go on like the bottom of like a chair for like a hardwood floor. It's in that department. And it's usually we try and get the darker brown because it's a little bit more subtle against the darker background, but Lois was out of the brown yesterday, so I had to get beige.
Gosh, she loves that little water bowl hide.
Yeah, Eric, I will. I found the darker brown on Amazon. I'll add it to our Amazon storefront if you want.
Do the lock fix one? We need to find a specific spot for locks because we always misplace where we set them when we get them out. So I can show you. So Stella Jr., this is what I do to help get them used to choice-based. My goal is to have them at least on their way to choice-based when they go off to their new homes, especially for those of you looking for pet retics. Like our goal is to really have a very tractable, docile, already used to humans animal when you get them home. So like Stella Jr. is at her glass. This is her right here. So I'll just open it up and just like mess with them a little bit. Like not like mean, but I'll like just give them a little like pet or what have you and see what they do.
A way of saying hello, I'm here.
She very often will come up there she goes. Come up to the door. Hi, and climb up my hand. So that's what she's doing right now. I don't know if you can see it, but she is climbing up my hand. And it's just one of my favorite things because like they really do have to trust you and not see you as a threat. Hi, you're very sweet. She's so like mom. She's so sweet. She's gonna make an amazing adult.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of my approach. That's really kind of my approach to all of my animals. That's why I'm curious to see what they'll do once they're on food.
Yeah. You all get food pals today.
Raquel is asking, any great store to buy quality isopods? We typically only get our isopods from people who propagate them specifically in the reptile world.
Yeah, the two people that we go through, we always get them at reptile conventions because it's way cheaper because shipping is really expensive. But Dirt Daddy is a great resource, and Rolly Boys is another one.
Yeah.
So my zebras and my giant canyon isopods are from Rolly Boys. He's great. He does some really awesome work. And my zebras are breeding, so that's cool.
Hooray.
They're starting to multiply. Zebras are my favorite.
And
they're like so unfancy, but I love them.
they are very cool looking.
Yeah.
Eric is also asking, where can we find the Amazon store? I'm going to post our support page on the website has basically links to all of the things. Our Instagram, our YouTube, our Patreon, all of that jazz. So I'm going to post that here. It also has our promo codes for Toad Ranch, has our promo codes for Cold-Blooded Caffeine, and the Amazon store is linked in there. There we go. Everything that's on the Amazon store is stuff that we have tested and like. There are many things that we have tested and don't like, and they are not on our Amazon store. So
the biggest challenge with these babies, whoever gets them, is going to be trying to put them back. She said no. She wanted to hang out, so she's hanging out.
Sorry, they're too friendly.
Janet. Oh, we posted that. Cool. Yeah.
Oh, we are at 4:15. We have gone on.
Thank you, Eric. Yeah, we like the questions, and yeah, if you're ever looking for something, like one of the reasons I started posting more about like bioactives and all of that stuff is like I'm already trying it. If I can tell you what worked and what absolutely didn't work, I could maybe help save you some money.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah. The way our Amazon store works, they make us say that, there's like an affiliate relationship and we potentially get a kickback. Thus far, we have not. I know that things have been ordered out for our Amazon store because when we have to order a re-up of stuff, I order it through our storefront because why not? We have gotten literally no kickback on anything. I don't know what qualifies something for kickback.
It doesn't tell you how it works. So it's more just like a convenient parking lot
exactly.
for like.
Yeah, we put it there for convenience.
Yeah.
So
things we love, things that we've used and tested and, just have worked well for us. Yeah. Carrie, were you saying darn
about very friendly babies?
Oh, that was a sarcastic darn.
Yeah.
I thought she was back to talking about the isopods and where we get them.
Nope. No, Rolly Boys is fantastic.
Yeah, and both of them, both Dirt Daddy and Rolly Boys ship, I believe.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for high quality isopods and some cool dudes to support.
Yeah, Dirt Daddy mainly vends around like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland. That's where we met him. Rolly Boys will vend at like the NARBC shows. Mm-hmm. So we've met him a couple of times at Tinley. He's freaking awesome. He's incredibly knowledgeable. He's incredibly helpful. Mm-hmm. His story is just really freaking cool. I love his stuff.
Yeah. Yep. He started doing, I believe he's starting to do 3D printing now too. So yeah, I really want to get one of his little isopod houses that are like, he does some super cute builds for isopods. He has what were the lava something? They're like big.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm so bad with iSpot names. They're like really big with black banding and like really pretty sunset color banding, like alternatively. They're really gorgeous, but they're big enough you can see them like fight over food, which is really cute. iSpots are hilarious.
Oh, Carrie, did you meet him at Tinley? Because she says he's too friendly.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he's great. Are we going to Retake Fest? Yes. As a matter of fact, we do the pre-party
The pre-party is here.
for Retake Fest. So we do kind of the tailgating version, essentially. Unless you're Duran, then you come the day after Retake Fest, which is fine too. Remember Duran and Eric showed up.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, we do the pre-party. Jody likes to call it Pre-Tick Fest.
Pre-Tick Fest.
My favorite name in
She hates
the
it.
world. It's so bad.
I love a good portmanteau. Yeah, we'll post info on it'll be on our Patreon as well as on Reach Out's Patreon as far as where the pre-party is, and also how to find our house, because
It's amazing.
Google Maps sometimes tries to send people through our neighbor's yard,
Yeah.
and he loves it.
He's pretty patient with it.
Yeah, he's
but
pretty patient.
yeah, I guess it's not really a maze. It's just it sends you to literally the wrong place.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do that the Friday before Retake
Friday before
Fest.
Retake Fest, yeah.
We usually have people show up,
Well,
especially from
2-3 in the
lunchtime
afternoon,
on.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we had people hanging out until like 11. I
Right.
want to say last time it was really fun. But we also actually have a working fire pit now.
I know. Last
it
year,
was so close to being done
I
last
know.
year.
had I not gotten Lyme disease last
Yeah,
summer, I would have
that's
actually
right.
gotten finished. But yes,
Um,
the deck is totally finished this year.
Mhm.
It's going to be super fun to sit out there.
Yeah.
Um,
What was I going to say? Oh, so we'll post details like address and stuff for Pre-Tick Fest on our Patreon, and then I send it to Garrett as well, so you can post it on his Patreon. So if you want to go to Retake Fest, you need to RSVP through the Reach Out Reptiles Patreon, and be like it's essentially how you buy your ticket. So you can get either information through that if you want to also support us. Then that's awesome. But otherwise, you don't have to be a Patreon member of both. If you're a Patreon member of ROR, then you get to go to Retake Fest, and you can come to the pre-party if you want to. If you're just one of our Patreon members, it won't get you access to Retake Fest because we don't have control over that.
but you can come hang out
You can
here
come hang out here.
because we like friends.
But Retake Fest is definitely worth sticking around for. It's a really good time.
We have really enjoyed meeting the community at
Mhm.
Retake Fest.
Yeah. There's generally a lot more people that show up at Retake Fest than like obviously at our pre-party.
Yeah.
Ours is just like a little pre-gaming. We do some barbecuing and this year will be fun because we actually have like not as many babies as Reach Out Reptiles has, obviously, but we have babies, and you can see the bio setups and all of that stuff, which will be fun. Yeah.
Good times.
You're so cute, and I love you. She's just super friendly. All right, we should probably hop off because we're running a little. We usually go an hour. I figured we'd go longer today since this was the all access. We do this every single week. The first Sundays of every month is all access. We do it every Sunday. Every other, like all the other Sundays, are Patreon focused. So it's a little bit smaller, but we do have a really good time. So yeah, if you want to join us on Patreon, it's the Curly Haired Keeper over on Patreon. I think we're 18 members away from a giveaway. So if you want to be entered in to win a pair of ceramic mugs, I'll probably throw in some merch as well, and maybe some coffee from Cold Blooded Caffeine.
The mugs are already packaged up and ready to go. We're very excited
to get those
to
to
share them
someone.
with you
Yeah,
guys.
so that'll be really cool. Those are one of a kind mugs, so you
Yeah,
can't
they were
order them
made
from anywhere.
by hand by my friend Drew.
Yeah, so they're a surprise for me, like a pair for us and then the giveaway pair. So that was cool. What else was I going to say? Yeah, I think that's about it. Cold Blooded Caffeine and Toad Ranch are both affiliate codes of ours. The videos and stuff aren't sponsored, but if you need some monies off of either a caffeine fix or a very nice enclosure, I have codes in that support link that Jody shared. So yes, TCHK 20 for Toad Ranch, and then TCHK 10.
10.
Yeah, the 10 code gets you 10% off of your caffeine order from Cold Blooded Caffeine, and then the 20 gets you $20 off any order of $200 or more from Toad Ranch. So
Also, Patreon members get 5% off of this clutch of
This
babies if you want one. So, all right,
babies are Moira impersonation.
nice seeing you as well. Thanks for asking the questions. It's always more fun when
We like an interactive
when we have
live.
questions answered.
Yeah, when there's no questions, I always just get really awkward and I'm like, there's cork bark everywhere and the room is messy. So questions are always more than welcome. And you're always welcome to ping me with additional questions if you have some. Like I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube. So yeah, let us know if you have residual questions, and we will catch you next time.
Alrighty, gang. We will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Ciao.